I do not think, it's a math equation now, the Cavs and LeBron can win 4 out of the next 5 against Boston. I don't think they can do it. I do not believe they can do it. Boston has the better coach and is a much more athletic defensive team. That doesn't mean you can't win a game. Cleveland will win a game or two. But I don't believe a math equation that Cleveland can win 4 of the next 5 with the second-best coach in the series and easily the second-best defense in the series. It's a math equation. LeBron went Hercules, and they still got rolled. But here, my friends, is why it is good news. Because 20 years from now at a bar, this will disappear into the ether. Bad news for LeBron is going to the finals, getting swept, and having that conversation we had last year. I think Durant's better than LeBron. Boston's going to go to the finals and get destroyed. And the last thing that happens in an NBA season is what we remember. Think I'm wrong? Did you know Michael Jordan was 1-9 in his first 10 playoff series without Pippen? Oh, you didn't know that? Of course you didn't. You remember the 6 titles. Bill Russell, 11 rings. Can you tell me any of the teams you beat in the conference finals? Oh, you can't. Google it. I did this morning. Utah Jazz. Oh, I bet you sit around with your buddies talking all the time how they won the Western Conference Finals before MJ when they beat, oh, hell, who did they beat? Probably the Lakers. That would be a good guess. We looked that one up, too. A bad look for LeBron 20 years from now, because he's going to blow everybody away in points, and he's going to blow everybody away in assists and rebounds, and he's playing the most efficient basketball ever. A bad look for LeBron is, oh, he got swept. He got housed again. And Kevin Durant was better in the finals. Yeah, back-to-back finals against Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant was the better player. This disappears into the ether. I host a radio show. It's as if Michael Jordan's first 6 years of playoff failures don't even exist. None of you remember who the Jazz beat in the West unless you live in Utah. You remember the failures in the finals. If you don't get to the finals, baby, it disappears. It's not in the record books. Nobody cares. If not for Google, you couldn't find it. And here's the great thing. LeBron's not done, still the best player in the league. He's moving on. He is moving on. He's either going to go to the Sixers, who have 2 stars, the Rockets, who have 2.5 stars, or the Lakers with a ton of cap space. Well, he'll be part of one of the 2 stars that come, the other Paul George, and they got a bunch of good young players. Like, it's okay. We said this yesterday. You're going to be at a bar 20 years from now. And you know what you're going to remember? Here's how you're going to remember LeBron's career. This is what it's going to be like in 20, 25 years. All right, remember this? Remember the first team he was with, Cleveland? God, remember he got that terrible team to the finals? And then he went to Miami with D. Wade. It was like rings. That was crazy. And then he won Cleveland, their first title ever. I mean, that place is like Loserville. They won a title. I can't believe then he went to Philadelphia with Ben Simmons and Embiid, and they went and got a Paul George, and they won more title. You really think you're going to be sitting there at a bar 20 years from now saying, he is the all-time leader in 27 categories, won championships with 3 teams, but the one that really dings his legacy? Those 2018 Eastern Conference Finals, where his third best player they don't have one, is all good. I thought the loss last night, big picture. Let's not live in the moment for a second. Let's think big picture. LeBron's got 4 or 5 years left. He's got 3 years left as a great player. He probably has 2 years left as the best player in the league. He's probably got 3 to 4 left as an elite player. He may play 5. Let's not live in the moment. Let's see big picture. Big picture was bad for Cleveland last night. Number one is, they not only lost, but they lost to a Boston team that gets 2 stars next year, and they weren't competitive. LeBron's looking around going, we're trapped. Kevin Love's my second best player. He's old, less athletic every year, injured a lot, and inconsistent. So that's really, really bad for Cleveland. It's not bad for LeBron. It gives him an escape route. He can say, hey, look, man, I was Hercules. I was Superman. I'm dropping 42, and we still get rolled to a bunch of kids. They had a better coach. They had a better roster. Not on me. And what it's bad for is the city of Cleveland. Because Dan Gilbert's not beloved by the press, the fans, or the players. And if LeBron leaves, Dan Gilbert again, people will say, well, Dan Gilbert, and the Cavs will be vomit within an hour of LeBron leaving. And you'll be like, proving once again, he left. They're a joke. They were a joke before they drafted him. They were a joke once he left. And they were a joke once he left the second time. Big picture, LeBron, when he leaves, they're not going to be terrible on LeBron. He's got 5 years left. He's going to win a championship somewhere else. He's got all the best teams in the league except Golden State want him. But here's where it's really bad, too. The draft lottery. I said Cleveland needed to land in the top 3. That would give them a tangible asset. A lot of teams want a top 3 player. But instead, Cleveland finished 8th. 8th doesn't mean anything. This is not the NFL. Half of the NFL is undrafted players. In the NBA, there's almost no undrafted players. In fact, you get past about the 7th pick, and you don't have many stars. You get past the first round, and the Draymond Greens are complete and utter outliers. Here are the last decade of number 8 picks, and that's what Cleveland got. Mo Bamba, that's his name, Mo Bamba, a raw 7-footer, is in the mock drafts headed to Cleveland. Yeah. I'm sure LeBron's going to want to wait through 3 years until he gets refined. The last 10 number 8 picks, Joe Alexander, Jordan Hill, Brandon Knight, Elfariq Aminu, Terrence Ross, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Nick Strauska, Stanley Johnson, Marquise Chris. I'm not sure if he's in the league. The Knicks picked a kid up, very, very young. Hard to make a judgment right now. Point guard for the Knicks. Not going to be Frank Ntilikina. He's a good little player, but I don't think he's a star. So we're 0 for 10 on stars. In fact, I can make an argument. We're 0 for 10 on borderline starters on any good teams. It's not just the loss. That's a loss for Cleveland. That's not a loss for LeBron. LeBron's got 5 years left. You won't even remember this series in 5 years. You don't remember that Jordan was 1-9 in his first 10 playoff series before Pippen. I have to remind you of that every year. That disappears into the ether. So the pie chart last night, to me, really moved. An ugly, humiliating loss considering LeBron was amazing, and they got the number 8 pick, not a top tangible asset. To me, the pie chart for LeBron's destinations and landing spot next year went from Cleveland being a favorite to 50% Lakers, 40% Cavs, and 10% somebody else. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.